Hi, my name is Aurélie. I'm an associate with Festive Road. I'm a millennial tech geek passionate about technology. I am supporting IATA's hackathon and I will be one of your mentors. In this video, I will explain you how airline retailing works. We will focus on business travel. In this video, you will understand what is a business traveler in opposition to a leisure traveler. You will understand what happens between an airline and the end customer, who actually in the business travel words means the corporation and the business traveler. You will finally also understand how distribution works. I will explain you the different intermediaries and stakeholders and what we mean when we refer to the indirect distribution model. So, let's start. Before digging in, I wanted to focus on the main differences between a business traveler and a leisure traveler. There are actually several elements that distinguish a business traveler from a leisure traveler. The first one is the reason for your trip. When you travel for business, you actually travel to attend a conference, to meet a client, to meet a prospect, for example. Second element is that there are obligation and constraints involved. You have to make the most effective travel arrangements. You have obligations to arrive at a certain time. You need seamless service and you need disruptions to be managed effectively. Another element is the payment. When you are a business traveler, you actually don't pay for your trip, it's your company who pays. And for that reason, there are a certain number of rules that you have to follow. You cannot actually do what you want. In a company, there is a stakeholder that we call the travel manager, and this person actually has to optimize costs that are associated to business trips. Um, this person sets up the travel policy that defines the processes surrounding how money is spent on travel within an organization. You have instructions like where and how to book, how to make payments, how much in advance do I need to book. And then you have the travel program that is an inventory of reference suppliers and negotiated rates. So basically, business travelers are asked to book in compliance with all these rules. Then, if you want to read more about it, there is a whole glossary of more than 40 business travel terms that is available for you online. So go, please have a look and don't hesitate to ask me any question if you have some. Now, now that you have some background, actually, let's take a look at airline retailing. So this chart that I will show you actually shows the big picture. Basically, you have three steps. The first one is the content. This refers to the airline's offer, products, services. Second block is the control. It refers to the booking channels. I mentioned intermediaries just earlier, and here typically we have IT intermediaries and service providers. So typically they are the ones that enable booking. Third block is the consumer. This means the end customer, the client. And in the business travel world, the customer has a double identity. You have the company and you have the business traveler. Let's explore in more details how the indirect distribution works. So this is typically what happens behind the scene when a traveler books a flight. So basically every airline chooses its distribution channels. In other words, this is the interfaces where their products and services will be bookable. So if you remember, it refers to the first block, content. Control. This is the booking channel. The first option for an airline is actually to go what we call direct, is to sell its products and services via what we call brand.com, so its own website. This is not actually our focus point for now. Then comes in the game the indirect channels. So in this case, you have intermediaries. On the one hand, you have IT providers. The first ones are the GDSs. GDSs are agency-facing tools. This is an acronym that stands for Global Distribution System. They were the first airlines reservation systems and are actually known as legacy systems. They enable automated transactions between travel services providers, so mainly airlines, hotels, car rental companies, travel agencies, and user-facing booking platforms like SBTs. We'll get there. Then you have aggregators. So in opposition to GDSs, we tend to call aggregators web-based platforms. So I mean natively web-based. An aggregator is a portal that collects related items of contents and displays them or links them. In other words, it consolidates offers from different airlines in a single user interface. OBT. This stands for Online Booking Tool, also known as Self-Booking Tool or Corporate Booking Tool. This is the user interface that is used by bookers, travel arrangers, business travelers to make their travel arrangements. So these platforms integrate the supplier's offer, so flight, train, hotel, car, taxi, and it basically looks like an online travel agency, but it involves more complexity because it reflects the organization's travel programs, workflows, rules that you have to follow when you need to book a trip for business. So you get it. So the objective of this tool is actually to enforce the travel policy and to be able to monitor costs thanks to an embedded reporting module, but also expense management module where travelers can actually claim back the money that they spent for business. On the other hand, you have service providers. Here, I'm mentioning the TMC, Travel Management Company. This defines a business travel agency that provides reservation services and additional support services to corporations. TMC help travel managers execute the company policy and achieve their travel program goals. And this often includes cost-saving targets. So agencies can actually provide reservation support to online booking tools. They work behind the scene to make that happen. And typically, TMCs have traditionally relied on GDSs for services, products, and rates in order to serve the business travelers and organizations. So GDS is the primary tool they are using to book. Why is it in a different color? It's simply because it's not an IT provider, it's a service provider, but yet it is still an intermediary. And of course, all of these intermediaries are connected to each other. In the end, of course, you have the consumer, as I told you, the company and the booker who actually has these user interfaces and has this choice of booking. Now, if we look the other way around, putting ourselves in the corporate shoes. So as a corporate, to book a flight, I actually have several options. My first option would be to phone the TMC. This is what we call actually offline booking. Other option is to go online. And this is where the company's travel policy comes in the game. I mentioned earlier that the travel manager defines a series of rules that you have to follow in order to book your business trip. And this is exactly where we are. So I can book directly on the airline's website, provided the travel policy allows to do so, or I can book via the online booking tool or any user-oriented tool like aggregator. And of course, this involves using a mobile or even chat. So chat, I mean chatbot services, or even chat involving interactions with a travel agent. So please, obviously, bear in mind that when a business traveler is on the go, the smartphone obviously is here or her travel companion. So it's the primary point of entry for any service when you are on the go. It is even more technical than this if you look at this big picture, but let's keep it simple for now for this video. And of course, feel free to ask me any question when you will be working on your project. If you want to know more for now, be aware that you have a platform that is available for you online. The URL is mentioned here, and you have a whole set of documentation and even a demonstrator that shows you how a corporate booking tool can be NDC powered, like functions and new user interface that it can provide. Again, I remind you that you have a whole business travel playbook available for you online with more than 40 terms that are defined if you want to dig in and to understand a little bit more about this industry. Who are the stakeholders? Who are the main stakeholders? Yes, you need to look at, and the interactions between all of them. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. You have my Twitter ID and my email. Either works for me, so feel free to reach out to me. Thank you very much.